Hey gamers, Keith Mateka here from Thunderworks Games. I wanted to show you the new upcoming title from Thunderworks called Cartographers, a Role-Player Tale. It's a 1 to 100 players game, so there's no real limit on how many players you can play besides the number of sheets in the box. Everyone is playing, building their own fantasy map, so they get a sheet that they're going to draw their map on. They're two-sided. There's like an A and a B side. This is the other side, in which it has this kind of what's called wasteland spaces in the middle, which makes it a little bit more challenging. And then there's kind of the wilderness side that just has that doesn't have that big hole. And it's a game in which all the players are going, or one player is going to flip a card, and everyone is going to get a chance to draw their map. So let me show you how it works. So let's check it out on the table. So you are a cartographer in entering the land of Nalos you've been asked by the Queen to do some documenting and exploring the wildlands. And the Queen has edicts. So each round, there's 4 rounds in the game. Each round, you're going to score 2 different edicts. The first one in the spring, you'll score A and B. And the amount of time that passes in spring is 8. And then in summer, we're going to score B and C. Then in fall, we'll score C and D. And then in the winter, we'll score D and A. So at first, you're kind of worried about these, and then these, and then these, and then these are the 4 rounds. So everyone gets a map sheet. You're given, the whole group decides to do one or two sides. There's the wildlands, the wilderness side, which is the A side, or there's the B side, which are the wastelands. And the difference is that there's this kind of big void in the middle of the map, which makes it a little bit more challenging. So the way the game works is everyone has their own map sheet. So it's important to put your name on it, and then if you want to draw a crest or put your family name down, or give yourself a title, those are all options and kind of fun things to do. And then you gather your explore deck. So the explore deck tells you what you're drawing. Each round, you're flipping these cards, and they're saying you're going to draw one of these 2 terrain types using this shape on your board, or it's telling you to draw this shape or this terrain type, this is farm, in one of these 2 shapes. And if you pick this one, you also get a coin, which is going to count for a point at the end of each round. And then there's these ruin cards. When these get flipped, then you flip an additional card, and this basically says that on your turn, when everyone's drawing, you have to draw the next shape on top of one of these ruin icons that are on the board or on your map sheet. And then there's also what are called ambush cards that get shuffled in each round, and they represent running into monsters. So when these get flipped, then in a multiplayer game, this says that you're going to pass your map to the player in counterclockwise direction. Some of them go in the other clockwise direction, and that player is going to draw this shape on your board and put the monster terrain on there, and then they pass your map back to you, which is going to generate some negative points for you at the end of the round. So what you're trying to do after you have these on your board is to cover up the adjacent spaces, because each adjacent space that is empty is worth a negative point at the end of each round. So those get kind of shuffled up and put off to the side. At the very beginning of the setup, and I've kind of already done this part, is that there are 4 different scoring types. There are village, there are forest, there's farm and water, and then there's kind of shape and pattern. And there's 4 of each one, and they get mixed up independently, and then one is randomly pulled from each set, and then you take that set of 4 cards and you shuffle those up, and then you place them down. So the idea is that every time you play, you're going to have a different set of kind of scoring conditions, and they're going to be in a different order. Without further ado, why don't we just get started, and I'll show you how it works. Beginning of the round, first person, somebody draws a card and places it so that everyone can see. And the Riftlands cards says you can draw one of the 5 terrain types: forest, village, farm, water, or monster. Anywhere you want on the board. Most of the time, you're not going to be picking the monster, but there are some cards that actually would encourage, where it might make some sense. So I'm just going to put in the bottom left-hand corner of my board, I'm just going to put a forest piece. So I know that that's at least going to give me 3 points because of this card. So this card says you get 3 points for every diagonal line that's unbroken, that touches the bottom and the left side. This one, so this is the pattern card. This one says for every cluster of villages that are 6 or larger group is worth 8 points. So you want a bunch of like bigger cities. This one says each forest space that is that all 4 sides or the edge is filled, and that's a point. So in this example, this one isn't worth a point because this one's not filled. But this one is an example. This one is worth a point because we've got a mountain, a forest, and the edge of the map. So that one's worth a point. And then the canal lake says each farm space next to a water space is worth 1 point, and every water space next to a farm space is worth 1 point. So this one is an easy 3 points here. I'm not sure what else to do, so I'll just go ahead and grab this space in the corner, and we'll make it a forest space. So this counted 0 time against the 8 that we need before the round ends. And the next card comes up. The treetop village says farm or forest using that shape. We're gonna focus on, I'll do the village. So I'll do village 1, 2, and 1. So the thing is, you can turn and twist these things. I messed up. 1, 2, over, 1, 2. Yeah. You can twist, meaning rotate or flip them as needed. We're gonna make this a village space. So we're gonna put little huts in there. So 5. So two time has passed. Now the fishing village comes out. We can do a 4 space kind of line with either water or village. Since I'm looking for at least a minimum of 6 village spaces, and I'm at 5, I kind of want to do at another village here. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. I'll make these village spaces. And then we've got the Forgotten Forest. So this is the 5th time I can do a woods. I'm going to actually put this right here and right here. So I'm using this, I'm taking that option. I'm going to put trees there to indicate that there's a forest. And then I get to take the coin. Another way to get coins in the game is if you cover the 4 sides of any of these mountain spaces, you also get a coin for that. So I've kind of knocked this diagonal out for this card, and I'm halfway to finishing this this mountain, and I got a coin for the selection. So that worked out well. And then this is time number 6, the Great River. So water is looking to be next to farms. I don't have any farms on my board yet, but by covering this space that has forest over here, that's gonna help me on the tree tower card. So I'm just gonna go 3 straight up, and we're gonna do water on that. And then I took the smaller shape, so I get a coin for that. I'm also close to finishing mining that particular mountain. So now we're at 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this is gonna be the last card of the round. If I were to do the village terrain, I'd want to start a new one, I think. But instead, I'm gonna do forward thinking and go with the farm. And I'm gonna finish off all 4 sides of this mountain. So we're gonna fill that in with farm. This I marked to indicate that I remembered to actually mark this down. So now I have 3 coins, so that one's been mined. That's the end of the round, and we are going to score. One of the reasons why we didn't run into an ambush card is because I forgot to shuffle one in. So I'll shuffle in 2 at the end of this round. But that can happen if the ambush card is shuffled in at the beginning of the game, and if it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. And you always just add another one at the beginning of each round, so then future rounds could potentially have 2 or even 3 or 4 enemies show up, or monsters show up in one turn, or in one round. So let's just do scoring. So at the bottom of the sheet, it shows you you're scoring A, which is this card, A. Diagonals, 3 points for each completed diagonal. So this is 3, 6, 9, 12. This one's not. So I get 12 points for A. And then B, 8 points for every grouping of villages that's 6 or larger. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that qualifies, 8 points for that. I get a point for each coin, so I get 3 points for that, and no negative for the monsters. So that's going to be 23 points for the round. So the spring card goes away. Now we know next round we're going to score B and C. These cards go into the Explore deck. Because of my error, I'm going to shuffle in a second, not only the regular ambush card I'm going to put in there, but I'm going to put a second one in there. Shuffle that up. And we're ready to go. So, first card, second round, we're in the summertime. We're still looking for that 8 time threshold. And we've got forest. You do a couple different things. We're going to be scoring forest this time, so that's actually good. What to do? I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to take the bigger shape. I'm going to do it like this. If I put it against the edge, that's actually going to help me cover, with points potentially on that tree tower card. So let's try that. So that's 4. Foregoing the coin. That's okay. Next up, Great River. I think we saw that card last time. So we want water next to farm if we can. We also want to kind of close out some of these other mountains, and we're trying to finish some of these diagonals for the end of the game, because we're going to be able to score this one again. Why don't we just slide it over here? It's not next to the farm, but it's covering up a ruin, which is fine. It just means that when those ruin cards come out, we're going to actually have a little bit more flexibility. So we're going to put 3 there. So we're taking the smaller shape. So we're going to take a coin. We got 4 coins. We got, man, 3 cards. We've only done 2 time passing. So what do we want to do with that thing? That's a good question. Well, I guess we'll just, if we put a farm right here, that's going to generate us 3 points, because it'll get, these water ones will actually be worth points when they score down there. So we'll just throw a farm in there for fun. Next, fishing village. You can do farm or water. I guess the question is, we are scoring villages again. Do I think I'll be able to get enough village spaces to get another 8 points? Let's go for it. But we can't have it connect to this one, or else it'll just be one big cluster. So let's put it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm putting it next to this mountain so that maybe we can mine that one later on. So there's that. Then the treetop village. Oh, good. We got some more village. So let's try to use that. What to do? 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm just gonna stick it out of here. It's gonna just be all stick outy. Put it right there. So we got some village space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that looks good. So this one is gonna be worth 8 points at the end, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's gonna hit that minimum 6. So I'm gonna guess they're good in ambush right here. So we're at 2, 4, 6. If this is a 2, it ends the round. I was right. We got an ambush card. So usually in a multiplayer game, what would happen is that I would pass this to my neighbor clockwise, as indicated by the arrow, and then I would draw this shape using the monster train, which is going to cause them to get negative points at the end of the round if they ignore it. But in a single player game, what you do is you look in the upper right hand corner and look at that symbol, and it says the upper right hand quadrant of that is purple. So that tells me that I have to draw the shape in this corner of the board. If it was full or I couldn't fit it, then you go around the outside of the board until you can. And if you still can't fit it, then you come in a space and then you try it again, and you come in another space and then you try it again, and eventually you'll find a place to place it. And in the rare instance in which you cannot, then you just don't have to put one down, which is nice. So anyway, I'm drawing these little monsters, faces with horns and a smile, just because they're happy bugbears. So this is gonna be, right now, this is worth -1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Unless I put something in those spaces, because every adjacent open empty space that's not filled is worth a point. So like this one is adjacent to 2 of them, but it's only worth -1. Like one space can't be worth more than 1 negative point. So bugbear goes away, we flip another card, and it's the ruin. So then we gotta put another one on top of that says we have to place this one, whichever terrain we choose, it has to go on top of one of these ruins. So I mean, we just got these these monster terrains, so we might as well try to do something about that. I'm going to say, let's do farm. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I'm counting these. So that's farmland. So I saved myself -2 points, and I'm next to the mountain, so that's going to help me hopefully down the road. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the end of summer. So we score summer. We say B, which is this one. I have 2 groupings of cities that are 6 or higher, so I get 16 points for that. 8 times 2. And then C for each tree that's surrounded. So I just do a quick scan. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 5 points for that. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 coins, so I get 4 points for that. And I have -1, 2, 3, -3. So 16 plus 4 is 20, plus 5 is 25, minus 3 is 22. So only 2 points for the second round. Moving on to fall. So we're halfway through the game. These cards all go back into the Explore deck. And we add another ambush card, shuffle her up. And now we're going to be scoring C and D. So we're doing the tree scoring and the water and farm scoring. And the first card to come out is the Riftland. So now I can draw in 1 square whatever I want. So I know, like, I want to fill in the space down here just because I know I'm going to score this at the end of the game, and this is going to be worth 3 points. So I'll do a farm because we know we're going to score that for sure. Next, ambush card. So it's the kobolds. You would pass this normally, but in a single player game, we're looking at the bottom left hand corner. I can't draw that here. Let me think about it. So I have to draw it right here. Not the best artist, but you don't have to be a great artist to make maps and cartographers. Some people they'll just put an M for a monster, while other people will draw an elaborate monster in there, which is cool too. Anyway, so the monster's in there. Flipping a card. Fishing village says I can draw a village space or water. I want to do water next to farm because that's worth points. And if I can close out some of these negative points, that would be good. So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do this. So that's going to get me 1 point for being next to farm, and the farm will be a point too, so that'll be 2 points. And then I get rid of one of these negatives, and I'm helping close out that mountain. So notice the falls, we only have 7 time to go. Here's the Great River. There's some more water. We're going to put it down here because I'm going to use the small one to get the coin. And I'm starting to do almost done with the mining over here, and I'm next to that farming. Let's mark off the coin. So that's the 5th one. 3 time have passed. Forgotten Forest, here's your forest. So the forest is scoring this turn. I should probably try to get some points with that. Let's do this. We're going to put the forest right here over the ruins, but I gotta draw my third tree. But I'm covering up this. I finished the mining on this one, so I get another coin. So that's gonna be a point. And then here's a ruin, and that says we have to do this one on top of ruin space. There's only one left, so I don't have any real option here. Well, let's do this. 1, 2, 1. So that's 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll do forests. Two, 4, 6. This is probably gonna be the last one. 7, 8. Yeah, so that's the last one for the round. If I can get, I'm trying to minimize some of the damage from some of these guys. So let's just do this. We're gonna go like this, and we're gonna do, oh, what the heck. I think actually the water is a better call. Put some water in there. So that's the end of the round. We're gonna do scoring. We look down here, see for each tree that's surrounded by on all sides with something. So, oh, I forgot, I just finished this off. I got the coin for that. See, there's a reason why I want to do that. So this is, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, so I got one more than the last time I scored that thing, which is not great. And D is water next to farm, or farm next to water is worth 1 point. I usually like to scan like this. So, see if we can find one. So 1, 2, 3, because it's next to this one. 4, because it's next to that one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because it's next to this one. 11, 12. 12 points. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins. And the negatives are, this is brutal. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. So 7 plus 12 is 19, plus 6 is 25, minus 5 is 20. All right, last round. Winter is upon us. It's coming. That's what they say. So we added that last ambush card. There's 2 in the deck, I believe. Let's see if we run into them. Top card, Forgotten Forest. So this round, we're gonna score this one and this one. So we're kind of done scoring the forest, but we might want to think about the pattern, which might be a good idea. And you know, coin's always a good idea. So we'll do this. We'll do forest like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And notice we're only hitting 6 here. So since the ruins are actually, I lied before. There's another ruins open. So I have to draw on this one, and I can draw whatever I want. I might as well draw farm because it's next to a water. So that's a farm. And fishing village. It's water. I guess I want to do water next to this one. I could get a coin if I finish up this. I really need to fill this space for my diagonals. But I don't know. Let's do this one. Water. So that's good for here. It's good for that one. That's 3, 4. Oh, this is the nice thing about this, it has a small shape. I'm just gonna finish off this mining with the smaller shape. I just finished this mining thing, so I get a coin for that, and I'm gonna take the coin off that card. So I got a good amount of coins. This could be the last card. It is 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 6. Yeah, that hits the minimum, or the yeah. And then I gotta draw this piece. So if you can't draw it, like if there's no space for it, then you just draw you draw 1 by 1 square wherever you want. Now there's a place to place this one. It's just not particularly helpful. So I'm just gonna go here. It's gonna give me a couple points. Points are good. All right, so that's the end of the game. We're gonna score D real quick. D says every farm next to a water, every water next to a farm. So it's worth 1 point. So we're gonna say, let's see here. Not a whole lot going on up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. And then A is this one diagonal. So I've got a bunch of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6. I think all the other ones break. Yeah, so 6 times 3 is 18, right? That's interesting. Okay, and then coins, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points for that. And then negative monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4. So 15 minus 4 is 11, plus 9 is 20. 20 plus 18 is 38. Then I'm going to add up my scores for the rounds to get my final score. 20, 8, 9, 10. So 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 103 is my final score. So that is my map that I made in Cartographers today. Thanks for checking it out, you guys. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out. I'm super excited and I hope you are too. Thanks, bye-bye.